Today we're recreating one of the first battles that took place in the Beyblade X show, which is now on Netflix, which is Sword Dran versus Helm Knight. How these battles work are there are 2 rounds with 5 matches, and in the first round I launch Helm Knight first. In the second round I launch Sword Dran first, and whoever has the most wins at the end is our winner. And of course there's going to be a third exhibition round that has a little twist. Now that introductions are out of the way, the first round goes to Sword Dran with a knockout victory. And in this battle, round 2, it looks like it goes to Helm Knight with a sleep out. And for round 3, once again, Helm Knight being launched first, and then we have Sword Dran, which gets an X dash, almost knocking out Helm Knight. And after a few more intense hits, it looks like Helm Knight is faltering, and Helm Knight has come to a stop. Admittedly, for this battle, I was pretty delayed launching Sword Dran, but that doesn't affect the battle much as Sword Dran goes in for a failed X dash or extreme dash. Which one is this called? Let me know in the comment sections. But it looks like Helm Knight is launching Sword Dran around the stadium, and what's that? Sword Dran is looking like it has a loss, so that failed launch does not mean a thing. Do you guys know how Beyblade Metal Fight Beys used to battle? That's kind of like how this one turned out. Like, no extreme dashes, nothing fancy, just Beys clashing classically. Man, this brings me back to my childhood. Very nostalgic battle for me right here, but Sword Dran does go down. Battle number 6, once again, Helm Knight first, Sword Dran in here, and in this match, there's a really smooth X dash. There it is. Will that affect the battle? We're about to find out. Helm Knight's battering Sword Dran with revenge hits, and it looks like Helm Knight's about to fall, and oh, Sword Dran just barely stopped spinning there, and now it's on to battle number 7 with some intense hits off of Sword Dran at the start. Sword Dran looks like it's tilting very sideways, and I just realized if Helm Knight wins this match, it is all over, but Sword Dran comes in with the win. Battle number 8. Here we go. Sword Dran immediately with an X dash. Helm Knight attempts one as well, but doesn't get the hit. Here we go. Sword Dran heads towards the center. Helm Knight's faltering. It is spinning barely, and Sword Dran comes back. Is this the match where Sword Dran gets its comeback, though? Battle number 9. Failed X dash. Okay, Sword Dran hits Helm Knight into the gutter. So round 1 goes to Sword Dran. Now it's the next 5 matches where Sword Dran gets launched first, knocking Helm Knight into the gutter once again right away. And the thing with this is Sword Dran's an attack type, so it has less stamina, but clearly that does not matter. Helm Knight is getting battered this match. Oh, Sword Dran almost knocked itself out, and it's still just battering Helm Knight all around the stadium. It is insane because the blades on Sword Dran cause a lot of recoil, and there it is. That's a show of Sword Dran's lack of stamina. But once again, Helm Knight's just getting battered around the stadium due to Sword Dran's attack and recoil. It is insane to watch, and it makes for some eventful battles. There we go. Sword Dran barely won there. And again, it's just wasting its stamina on the X dashes to deflect itself into the gutter off of Helm Knight. Okay, here we go. We got our next match. Sword Dran burst finishes on Helm Knight, giving it 2 points for that burst. Okay, once again, Sword Dran just rushing around the stadium, just getting its momentum going, ready to batter itself into Helm Knight with another burst. And that gives Sword Dran the win. So the winner for today's episode is definitely Sword Dran. And right here, we have a battle where I swapped the bits on the 2 bays. So Helm Knight currently has Sword Dran's bit, and Sword Dran has Helm Knight's, which is fun to watch because you see Helm Knight does not do well with the attack bit because of the lack of blades. And yes, Sword Dran did burst there at the end, but Helm Knight was done spinning. And the thing is, like, the recoil on Sword Dran is what makes it decently good. Like, right there, okay, Helm Knight won just because the recoil knocked Sword Dran itself back. But overall, with the recoil, Sword Dran is a deadly Beyblade, especially in a defensive stance. Like, you see Helm Knight's going in to hit, and Helm Knight itself gets sent back after hitting, which, of course, as you see, makes it lose all its stamina. And we got the final battle here, and it's very quickly over. So this was just a video for fun. This is the first video I'm uploading, so if you want to see more, go subscribe. If you have a battle you want to see, go comment that down below. With that said, check out my next video when that comes out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day.